the heavy flamer. We are the ancestors of death. My furies made manifest.
I should really remember to check which one I have set up to start up. But folks, hello one and all to the Mechpit chat. I am Ancaster here to start you off with the week because well, the weekend has come and gone, but that doesn't mean you have to hate yourself, going into this week. Uh, I am Ancaster here to keep you calm, keep you cool, keep you collected in the face of all the chaos going around in this world. Oh boy. It is crazy. There's been kind of so much here, there, everywhere that it gets a little hectic to track sometimes. But that is life in a nutshell for you. Uh, Let me see real quick as we jump into the chat here. Vince, thank you as always, buddy, for dropping those links. I appreciate you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So everything, all the chaos that's going on this weekend. The talks of World War III going on. This place is getting bombed. That place is throwing back. It's been so crazy to keep track of, and there's been so much, kind of poo pooing. But you know, thankfully, you can always count on some good friends to turn to in your time of need. And real quick, folks, let me go ahead and someone who hasn't been on in a while, but let me go ahead and invite him. Let me invite him in all the same here.
Mercy, good masters, please don't kill me.
I'll try and calm him.
Shut up, dear peasant, rest your head, or I'll let the sorceress kill your ass dead.
Amazingly, the peasant is no longer panicked.
Bro, that was funny.
Thank you, Jed. Man, it has been far too long since we got to hang out over here on that channel.
Yeah, it is. It's usually you're over on ours. That
Mhm.
still is part his in retros. But yeah,
What brought you by? You just kind of got you on a good night.
yeah, he caught me on a good night, and then Kay had to go take a shower and do some other stuff real fast. So I popped over to Joe, and then Joe goes, "He's too busy. He's working for all the big wigs now." I'm like, "Shh." Look at Vince. Vince is over there at Joe's right now too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mech chat is best chat. That's what I like to say.
I know. So, but I saw what the thing was for today, and I was
Okay.
like, I saw what the topic was, and I was like, whoa, that is actually how we started the Archivist. Is because it was during the pandemic and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Um,
the reality is, it is the persistent challenge of life. I feel because
Yeah.
there's so much stuff going on, especially in the internet age, that
Yeah.
it's like every problem in the world is going to be here to just completely drive you crazy.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily know from what end, what angle it's all going to happen. But the challenge is, finding that time for yourself and not letting yourself be consumed by the news, because it is far too easy to go down that rabbit hole and just, become wholly consumed.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
Thankfully, I've got little plastics. I've got a little bit of plastic men to paint up.
yeah, I got No Man's Sky. I got a bunch of. I got my comics. I got my books. I got to come on YouTube to chat with you all in the chat. Thank you guys for coming over to Irons. By the way, appreciate you guys. We a lot of us geeks have a lot of stuff to do. And then yeah, I post on X, geeky shit, political shit, whatever. It's a whole mixed bag of stuff over there. So, but yeah, it's I see myself going, and I noticed this. People follow my X over there. I've been posting Thundercats, Star Wars, old school Star Wars, He-Man, Transformers. I played some G.I. Joe. Like, I've been posting some other stuff that gave me comfort when I was younger. Because I'm just like, but then I did just post about some other stuff that was going on that I'm hopeful about. So it's just, you know, You got to have these things to not keep you go insane, right, Iron?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fun thing is, it turns into a rabbit hole that you can quickly fall down, and before you know it, you've fallen down like 5 additional ones,
Yep, yep.
which in and of itself can be a problem too, because before you know it, you have like 6 hobbies that you've took interest in, and then you just don't have enough time for any one of them properly.
Yeah. And if
Like
if you
I,
go, especially if you go on YouTube, you can go down a huge rabbit hole.
I'm I'm certainly now stranger to this myself, as I found myself kind of starting to pick up some more interest in the Warhammer stuff with all the tabletop wargaming, which I mean ultimately is adjacent to like D&D and that, but
Yeah.
it's still like, hey, you want to buy this box of 10 Space Marines for $60?
Can you go down to 50? Okay, 50. Okay, Sal. Like, like
I'm like, but look at them. They
yeah,
need to be
yeah.
painted. And then like,
Yes, yes, yes. I had a buddy that got somebody down to $40 for a whole box of them, and I was
of
like,
course, I went and dropped like 170 for the starter box. It has like 12, 13 Marines and like 30 Tyranids. So now I have like all these little, not xenomorphs I gotta go paint up now.
yeah,
And then on top of that, I was like, hey, I got a 3D printer and I can go ahead and paint Space Marines. Unfortunately, they're gonna show up funky.
yeah, because they're kind of green and stuff. So
You would think I would learn this after a while, but no. Give me 1 second. We're gonna plug in my other camera and I will show you my table and the pile of shame that has been amassing.
yeah, yeah, and if you follow, he's been showing the pile of shame on Joe's channel, my channel, well, our channel over there, and then my channel. So, and and stuff. So,
All right, there we go. So there we go. One of the features I can do with this is I can add another camera.
yeah, I love that you can do that on here. That you can add another camera, but I don't see it yet. So,
Oh, right. No, I know what's happened.
yeah, yeah, it's okay. Go with us. We're having technical issues, everybody.
There we
Hold on
go.
a second.
And I think the problem is it's trying to like get both cameras at the same time because of the
Yeah,
same
I,
feed.
I
So
had that problem because
bear
I was
with me.
screwing with it for the cotton connection. I was
There we
trying
go.
to. Okay. Okay, I don't see
Okay.
it yet.
Sorry. It just want to make sure this didn't, mess up on me
Oh
because
yeah, 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 yeah.
boom, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice. How many have you done so far?
So as far as the painting's been going, I've got these guys I was painting up, I was kind of showing off the other day.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah,
I'm
you were
pretty
showing me these the other day. I forgot about that.
they're all getting painted up kind of like a quasi Master Chief sort of look. Then I was like, hey, 3D printing. I'm gonna like here's a little motorcycle for a bunch of like space orcs I'm gonna paint up.
That sounds cool. You could kind of do like biker mice from Mars bike or
Oh
something.
yeah. Uh,
Like
for a friend, I'm in the middle of printing up. Middle of painting up this little space gator.
yeah, that's awesome, dude. That looks like a character from Ninja Turtles, basically.
Mm-hmm. And here's
Hey,
kind of
Dave C, what's up, man?
the latest guy I was working on. I'm pretty happy with. Let me blow this up.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, dude. Dave C asked you a question. Iron, have you been happy about the printer?
Very much so. I found I've had the occasional little hiccup with it, but that's sort of the learning process of a whole new toy to play with.
Yeah,
Not everything is gonna be working 100%, and once in a while you have to get your hands dirty or spend like a good solid 40 minutes taking something apart to replace, a screen.
yeah,
It's annoying. It's bound to happen, but at the
yeah.
end of the day, it's the funny thing I found with 3D printing now that I have that, I'm looking at all these like statues and stuff where I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I could just print something like that up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
basically, once you have the ability to be able to generate that stuff on the fly, the FOMO doesn't quite hit the same.
I mean, the thing is, and I gotta stress this enough for people that do want to buy in, that you gotta have the stuff to make the stuff too. that you got. Yeah,
Well, right. There's the STL files that exist. Like,
yeah.
but the thing is, there's so many places out there, so many people who are
Oh yeah.
selling their STL files. Like,
Yeah.
I found myself going down this rabbit hole with my mini factory.
Uh-huh.
Here, let me take the let me take
And
the way back.
hey, Dave C. Hey, man.
Uh, I have been over here on my mini factory, just going down this rabbit hole of like buying STL files left and right. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I love the designs of some of the War Machine stuff, so I'm signed up with their tribe. So for like $10 a month, I get all these designs.
Uh-huh.
Here, let me pull. And so I have the ability where I can just go and print this up, or where I can
Yeah,
take.
and I've seen they got some stuff on Fiverr that they give you if you like, hey, if you pay a certain amount, or on some other places.
Dave, I am using a resin printer, so I use the liquid material that's slightly toxic, but it's kind of set up by window. I really need to go and install some extra fans to some extra fan
Yeah,
ventilation
because
to pull that out.
here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand, and I have to stress this, and other people, you need a well ventilated area for this, or you're gonna have a bad time. Yeah, it can get a little bit toxic in there,
But
and
I
it's
mean,
bringing the fumes.
you look at the quality of some of these models, and here this is like one of the 3D printed designs,
Yeah, yeah.
and you got to figure that model probably on a rack somewhere would probably be like 30-40 on its own.
Mm-hmm.
If I've signed up with the War Machines tribe, it's only $10, and it's part of a bunch of other stuff I'm getting. Like, I got a bunch of like crazy terrain from them,
Yeah.
so I can go print up like some, and you sit down, you have your little war games, or you want to like play your D&D. You're like, man, this would be cool. Like, I really want to set up like a crazy train battle. Well, I could just find some files for like train track and set that down, or bust out the dry erase. I could set up little
Yeah.
buildings and build all this stuff.
Yeah, and here's the thing: you can click and attach and put all this stuff on. It does go together.
Well, what I wind up doing more often than not is I'll sit down and I'll be uh, gluing this stuff out individually, just put
Yeah,
pieces
yeah, yeah.
together. But that's the other thing is I could I could spend so much time like I literally have like one of those fishing lure boxes full
Hmm.
of like arms and legs and bodies, which makes me look like a serial killer just for like little space marines. I
Yeah.
mean, not space marines.
Yeah. So, but
And it's like, meanwhile, like my desk is kind of like shift around. I'm like, hey, cool. I have this big old thing full of all these little paints I have. I can just kind of pull up. I'm like, yeah. Now I got to figure out how to do those. Like, hey, I've got all these little hobbies I'm kind of playing with. Like, here's a half finished sprue for some Tyranids I was cutting out. Which do that today. So
yeah,
I'm not letting the pile of shame beat me.
yeah. You don't. I'm gonna say this, everybody. Don't let the pile of shim beat you guys, because go in there and get stuff, and you know what I'm saying. Don't let it beat you.
And in the face of all that, plus with the YouTube stuff, I've been
Yeah,
finding it just so easy to not let myself be brought down and so wholly subsumed. Like, I had my stuff going on this weekend, and over, for example, our buddies over in the Cotton Council,
yep.
were very much into the topics of what was going on, and I'm me and Charlie over here we're just kind of like, something was going on. Sorry, we were kind of playing with paint. Yeah, that's right. Well, you were eating it, Charlie.
Well, Charlie does eat it. So
He saw grape and he thought it was soda.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm
no,
waiting for Woofy to say something in the background. Don't get him started. So, I'm like, but I there was a question that I wanted to ask you. This complains. I heard that Disney has picked up the rights to Power Rangers, and they're gonna totally reboot everything.
okay,
Um,
so I haven't heard anything about them getting the rights again.
it's gonna be
Uh,
on Disney Plus. I heard.
well, actually, let's go ahead and look this up.
Yeah, I was looking it up, and it was a few places, but I didn't see Deadline or any of the other places have it yet. They may have, but it was Comic Book News and a bunch of other places.
well, that might just be rumors that are flying
Yeah,
around.
that's what I was wondering because I didn't know if
Well,
you heard about it too.
All right, so fundamentally, Power Rangers is dead right now. There's not any,
Yeah.
the
Well,
only thing going on with the franchise right now is the reboot of the comics. I believe at Boom Studios.
I heard Paramount. Here's what I said this was odd, and I said this to Kay earlier because we were looking this up, and I looked it up and was looking, and I was like, okay, they're gonna have the new shows on Disney Plus, but Paramount's gonna put out a movie, and I said that's odd. Why would you split it off between two separate studios? I was like, Paramount is gonna do it on their thing, and then Disney Plus is gonna have the show. They're gonna reboot it into a movie. I was like, something sounds fishy here. Paramount's gonna
Well,
have the movies, and then like Disney Plus is gonna have the shows. Something doesn't sound right here. So they
all right,
said it's
so
officially done, and I was like, something sounds fishy, not.
all right, so basically, from the little bit I'm able to kind of find, there was talks
Yeah.
about it back in like January, but I guess that sort of petered out with Paramount.
Yeah.
And the only thing I've seen is a CBR article. Here, let's pull this up
Yeah, I know.
and change the microphone.
Oh, did it? I didn't even touch anything.
I don't know if it's just Streamlabs doing that, but that's where my problems pop up every now and then. But
Okay.
the Power Rangers reboot series is in the works at Disney Plus with an exciting creative team. Big news has emerged for fans of the Power Rangers franchise. Reboot was reporting in the works of Disney Plus, and the creative team that's set to become part of the project may be exciting for fans.
Yeah.
Per the rap, it's.
Can you hear me properly now?
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Okay, let me see if I can find that article I was looking at earlier. Because I was talking to Kay about it, and I was
Described
just
as a reinvention of the franchise for a whole new generation of fans, while detailing those who already know and love the world of the Power Rangers. Co-stars Percy Jackson's Olympians with original author Rick Riordan. The Disney Plus has been a huge success. Now, the thing is, these days, typically when we hear Disney, we would tend to have cause for concern because of the modern track record.
yeah, that's true.
But all of that said, when Disney did have Power Rangers, they weren't the worst seasons. Like there were some good seasons in the mix there. So it's coming back to a familiar
Well,
house that's running.
they said, okay, and I'm going to say this, and they said Cosmic Fury was the end of the 30-year storyline. They said with Cosmic Fury it ended, and it's going to go to Disney Plus for the reboot, and they're going to have and it says the new series will be a live action series Disney Plus with Jonathan E. Schumer, Dan Schatz as writers, and it said it just ended. So yeah, because I was just getting all these, and it was from Screen Rant, but we don't know how reliable. This was from March, too.
So this is from March 20th. So I think this is basically some similar reporting that was from right around the same time. So
yeah,
but so for myself, I'm kind of the opinion that it needs to stop being so tied to the Mighty Morphin era.
yeah, I feel that they're not going to do their own thing at some point when it's not going to be successful. They're going to go back to what they know works.
Right, and it isn't bad per se.
Yeah.
To be perfectly frank, if I was going to do a reboot of the franchise and have a fresh start, I would probably do something likewise.
Yeah.
Though I would probably be more likely to go and try and follow the formula that's by and large worked and just kind of go look into the Super Sentai and the footage they've been using.
Yeah.
That's the thing that made it so beloved. It's this rubber suit footage.
Yeah.
And so much of them has been, frankly, embarrassed by that material. But that's what people loved about it.
Oh, like, dude, I love Super Sentai and I love Kamen Rider. Like,
Mhm.
he was I saw the old school Kamen Rider, and I didn't see any of the modern day Kamen Rider, and Iron was the one that got me into modern day Kamen Rider. So,
Oh, it's so good.
yeah.
I'm a couple months behind on the current series, but you remember I was telling you right when it started airing.
I still gotta finish the end of the last one because I've been so busy and stuff. So,
well, I mean, fundamentally, the thing is, you can just kind of take them as they come. So even if you sort of fall off, the nice thing is that right with the fall, there'll be new rider up and running and riding along.
Yeah.
So you don't worry too much about it. You can easily kind of just jump back on where they're at.
Yeah. So it's just like
Which series were you watching? Was it? I'm guessing were you still watching 01?
No, I finished 01.
Okay.
Yeah, 01
was freaking
awesome.
Geats?
It was Gets. I'm at the very end of Gets.
Oh man, let me tell you, man, Geats.
Dude, I'm in where I'm not gonna spoil because I don't want to spoil it, but you at the end where he's like finds people and finds out about truths about things, and
isn't it crazy how you look at a show like Kamen Rider and it's just so silly that you don't think about it at first, but these characters, these riders, have the potential to be able to like go toe to toe with like the Justice League at times.
Oh, dude, yeah, and that's the thing. And I said this, and I said, dude, he could like Getz. I said Getz could go up against Batman and whoop his ass, and they're like, no, he can't be Batman. I was like, yeah, he could if he needed to. And I was like, yeah,
01 with that ability to like basically kind of reconsider a situation multiple times just as the hit is about to land and redirect himself.
Yeah, and I was like, that would rival Bruce right there with all his gadgets and shit. Like, I would love to see that fight, to be honest. That would be an awesome fight.
As big as a fan I am of Kamen Rider Wizard, as the kind of the first of the series I had decided to jump into, purely because the guy's costume looks so good.
Oh yeah,
Geats was the first like brand new series I watched like from beginning to end, like as it was airing, and it has
01 was the first one I watched in the modern day from beginning to end, and you got me into that, and I was just like, dude, and I'm starting to show her a little bit, and she's going berserk on it. Like I started to show Kay it, and she's like, oh my god, this is awesome. Because I've been showing her a lot of the stuff me and you watch, and because me and you watch all the anime, and then me and her watch the anime together. So
I really think that Geats is what was one of the better series to introduce.
Oh yeah,
people. Like the action is easy enough to understand, and with the popularity of Fortnite, that's still around, which was one of the bits of inspiration for it.
Yeah,
Geats works really well as an introductory series into that world.
But I'm gonna say the 01 is just like that's my homie right there. Like that's my bro right there.
And it's just kind of unfortunate that Gotchard for myself, like I wasn't as keen on it. That was the alchemy card, like kind of quasi magic rider that came after Geats.
Mm-hmm.
But not every series is going to be the big winner. And
oh yeah, no, and that's the reason why I do love Geats, but I like you see me whenever we talk about 01, it's like I start singing the theme song and everything, and I'm like, dude, let's go! Like that one,
01.
Did 01, and then we even do this sometimes when we're doing shit on the Iron doing stuff on the Iron Cruise. We're like, we'll pull up 01 for like 5 seconds, and we're like, like just to tease people.
They'll look over, it's like, God, they're such nerds.
They're like, what's that? And then me and Iron going into an hour and a half conversation on 01.
So, all right. So, have you had a chance to watch Shin Kamen Rider yet?
I think is that the black and white one?
Shin Kamen Rider was the standalone movie.
Yeah, was it the black and white standalone movie? There was a black and white one I watched. Or
I don't know if
he have the black? Was he black and all? And he had the black bike and stuff. I watched one.
He had like an all white bike.
I watched one that was you told me to, and I was like, hey, this is kind of not like how it is, but it's kind of cool. But it was more realistic. The one you told me to watch was more realistic. It wasn't as, you know, wacky zany and like just
Yeah, I
out of
think
the
that was
world.
it. Here, let me
That
just
was
pull up
the.
a still for it.
It was. I was like, oh shit, this is kind of grounded. I'm like, I'm not expecting. I didn't see that much, man. I was like, but then as the movie went on, you saw a little bit more. I was like, okay, it's starting to pick up a little bit more. But
Was
that
this it?
ending, the beginning was, I'm sorry, it bored me to death. Like,
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Like,
yeah,
and it can be unfortunate because
yeah,
there are some movies that can have a really great premise and have a great build up, but then like
yeah,
they sort of run out of fuel by the end.
yeah. And I was like, okay. Usually in like 01 or Gets or some of the other common writers, they start off kind of slow and then it just goes into overdrive. And I kept waiting for that to go into overdrive, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the watch. Okay, this is 45 minutes now. Like so. Hey, DJ, what's up, bro?
So I'm kind of feeling that right now with the 2000 remake of King Kong.
Yeah, dude, it's terrible. Don't watch that.
Well, no, well, I'm not saying it's terrible.
It took about, was it an hour? I timed it. If I remember, it was an hour and 20 minutes for things to get going. If I remember right.
Well, I didn't necessarily hate that. Like Jack Black's character just kind of being this like shifty guy who's writing bad checks to everyone just to be able to
Yeah.
get a little further, just to be able to get out the next door. Like I
Mhm.
like that. I thought that character was fascinating. Like it's a Jack Black I don't hate. Like he
Yeah.
is kind of today. Frankly, the problem I have is I'm starting to get is still in the middle of Skull Island, and I'm kind of I'm kind of overseeing all the giant monster stuff.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it's the coolest stuff, but I'm just
Yeah,
I'm kind of bored of it.
I didn't feel that. There is one thing that it just got took off Netflix. I watched the first King Kong Godzilla movie, then they had the next one. I think that was, well, okay, I want to say that King Kong Godzilla movie they came out, that was the dopest fucking trailer ever. That especially when he goes to hit the punch and they had the music in there, it was really good. But then I think this one was better. The second one was a little bit better than that
All right,
first one though.
Jet, hold that thought for you because we got a double feature here of
Okay.
guests popping in the back. So
Okay.
guys, without further ado, you know them, you love them. Let's hit their clips.
So you guys, my roast is ruined.
What if I would have purchased fast food and disguised it as my own?
A double feature. Or in Jeopardy,
Double feature.
They call it the Daily Double.
It's like we came in at the same time.
We
Just
got
messed it up.
We got a connection panel right here.
Yeah. Mike Raj should just kind of pop in like, hey guys, I just came to say hi.
Yeah, I mean, Snow says all our stuff is gay anyway, so I'm sure Mike Raj wants to watch.
Yeah,
he would know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
He's the one who's always got his hand up Mike's ass.
Yeah,
you know,
I think he kind of likes it, man.
And Rudolph just wants to butt in, so he'll probably be in the corner as well.
Rudolph just wants to bang the horse, man. So
I mean, speaking of hobbying while the world burns, right?
yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, guys. So how are you?
I want to be able to B2 Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb.
Wait.
Let's power up for 5 episodes, everybody.
You want to be gay like Enola Gay?
Oh my.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. So B2 Spirit Bomb.
Drop the bomb on me, baby.
All right.
So
I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be like Oscar or not Oscar. The red one. I love the meme. Well, I love
Asuka. What, Asuka?
No, the red puppet.
Oh,
Elmo. He
Elmo?
has his hands up, with the fire behind him, and then there's the other one of Oscar the Grouch with the aviators reflecting like the explosion in the reflection. Like
Ooh.
those are
I haven't seen that meme. I need to see that meme.
I'll find it.
Chair.
I'll find it.
Put it in the group chat. Put it in the group chat.
Not the iDubbbz chair. But guys, I guess to kind of be in the theme of the show here, how are you guys holding up with all this pandemic stuff going on? With all the crazy war stuff going on, like how are the hobbies treating you?
There's a pandemic? What?
Sorry,
Dude, what are you fucking talking about? That was like 4 years ago when we started the channel, Iron.
I'm gonna blame you. I'm gonna blame you for having brought it up in the first place. Put it in my head like a little worm.
Yeah.
It was like almost 4 or 5 years ago.
Don't be too critical, too harsh on the Ironcaster. I mean, it's not like it doesn't feel the same. Like,
oh, I know.
The Hadron Collider Khalid.
Look, guys, in my defense, I drink Flint water.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, so.
Oh.
He's gonna grow another nose.
Speaking of, oh my gosh, I was so excited about this.
You got a new pee-pee?
No. So, there's a notable was a notable politician from the area here who got a little bit of internet recognition.
Okay.
As one of our I think all of our favorite YouTubers finally did a little video on this man.
Oh, the good old Dank Lord himself.
Yes.
Yep.
He covered Eric Mays.
I was wondering when he was going to do something about that.
Oh God, Eric Mays. That's one of the infamous like internet like was he a local politician? He's like a city council member person. That was just like always talking foolishness in like the most like stereotypical black.
So Eric Mays is was a city council member from Flint, Michigan. So he was from my town here, and he always talked like this. Like it was like you just want to give the guy a lozenge, and but also. Is it just me, or does he look like he would have been like a perfect J. Jonah Jameson?
Yeah.
Damn, that's Spider-Man!
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah, he always spoke like he had the most jive / Oxfordian freaking mannerisms. It's like trying to be super proper, but being totally ghetto at the same time. It was weird.
The man was kind of fascinating. Like he would always walk around. He would always go around town, and he would always have this big fat black dude. I think it was supposed to be a bodyguard for him, and he would kind of have his his jaw out, kind of shut it out, like "What man?" Like he sounded like he's getting ready to do like a rock and roll riff.
Yeah.
Like the guy got caught. Driving down the expressway drunk on the wrong side of the road, the wrong side of the expressway, and no one ever talks about that.
I mean, that's the beauty of like a forgetful news cycle is people will forget the heinous actions you've done if you can throw in front of it a whole bunch of other bullshit. So the more bullshit you generate in general, the less snafus that will affect you. You know what I mean?
So, Snaps, I want to point out on this that Obama did a lot of strikes and stuff, but they didn't get on Obama, but they got on Trump for this too. So.
Well, here's the thing: if it's the chair of the president, right? Yeah. So if Obama does like a couple things. Like, let's be honest, I was attached to an air wing strike group when Obama was president, and like one year we would send out jets fully loaded and they come back empty. Let's just put that in perspective. And the second one, we didn't drop a single bomb, but it was kind of like an off year for the Taliban, but that's regardless. But here's the thing: is that is the president of the United States.
Yeah,
that is a person, like that's an entity of itself. Now, different people fill that role, but that is like the King of England or the Queen of England is a person. You know, it might be Queen Elizabeth. Now it's freaking was it King Charles or whatever his name? I don't know.
Cut Charles.
I just fucking guessed on that one.
Cut Charles instead of King Charles.
Yeah. It's Char as the bowl.
I need to see Gator attached to an airplane.
I'm
gonna assume you meant to say need to see.
Yeah.
We need to see Gator attached to some some tail arts on an F-16.
Well, no, more like the Twilight Zone episode where he's just like he's torturing Captain Kirk.
Yeah. You see Wolf over there. He's like,
or is he like dangling off one of the hard points?
Stacks, we need to do this. We need to go and recut the Twilight Zone movie segment with William Shatner looking out the window, and then we just cut to there's Gator just kind of sitting there like, oh hi Captain.
You gotta have Wolfie over there. He's like, hey man, you want some mushrooms?
One step at a time.
I'm sorry. Your Wolfie character, he has one note, and you can't play that note that often. You need to workshop your character.
Oh, I know. So.
Frankly, I would say play up the dog aspect more.
Yeah.
With him, he's derpy, but he is also a dog, so you got to kind of play up the dog quirks, like throwing some dog puns, like throw me a bone, boom.
Yeah, it's also really dark. It's usually dark in your room. Can you light it up? Because I can barely see the guy move. Can he actually? Is he? Does he have a mouth flapper, or is he just a finger
so
puppet?
when I said this to Snow, and he's like, oh, dude, just do what you can do. That's the reason why I asked you about like if I can later on get one from you. Because when I bought him, they said his mouth moved and stuff. His mouth and arms move. Well, one arm was the strong arm, the hand that we put up there. That Snow does the strong hand thing.
Okay, here's the thing: if the arms move, the mouth is going to be really difficult to move, anyways. Because
only
you
mouth
move it with your fingers. It's going to really tough to operate the mouth.
The mouth doesn't move, and only one arm moves. So
I have a little squirrel puppet that I can move his arms and I can move his mouth. But I can't really do it that well because I would have to have like freakishly long fingers, which my fingers are long enough, but still like.
So Jed, the advice we would I don't necessarily want to go speaking for Snacks, but for myself, I will say lead into what you can do with the puppet, and if you can't move the mouth, don't worry about that so much.
Yeah.
Make up for it by moving the hands around.
Yeah, that's what I was trying.
It'll be a combination of neck.
I can only move one hand. That's what's weird. So
well, I would say, make sure you kind of, if he's talking, kind of make sure you let the head bob a little bit, and kind of don't overemphasize it. Just kind of try to go for it a little natural as you kind of.
When I do it, I have a light shining directly over too. And that's
what's
weird.
I
over or straight at?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like I don't have straight at because it looks too bright.
Well, the thing is,
Snow said it looked too bright. So
Okay. So what kind of light are we talking? Are we talking just like the regular house lights, or are we talking like a light like this?
It was a light like this, and I have it over to the side. And Snow said, I tried it. I showed him from all angles, and he said the one that I showed him was the best.
Tell you what, Jim. Why don't you send us a couple of photos or screenshots, like, and we'll try to work this out after the show.
Yeah.
Does that, I mean, you do it right in the Mechpit chat. We'll try to
Yeah.
we'll try to help you workshop it. That sound good?
I love Snow.
Yeah.
He's right a bunch of times, but obviously he's not right all the time. It's
And he goes, it fits in with your background.
Like
too.
let's just table this till later because this is
this
behind
is
the
a back
magic.
channel talk we're having on.
Yeah.
and it's fine.
It
And
happens.
we want to help you, but let's.
Oh, I know, bro.
But,
So, all right, guys. So,
Anyways, back to
little side talk.
hobby.
yeah.
So I've been working on the Zoc. So it's been
You got the big like flying spaghetti robot.
Flying spaghetti robot. What?
He's like a big flat pancake. I was gonna make a reference to like the flying spaghetti monster, and it just sounded better to.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah. Right now he's kind of a normal Zoc. I still have to scratch build the 6 legs. So, which is a more I didn't realize how like difficult scratch building was until I started like, I jumped in deep waters without scuba gear.
Oof.
But it's okay. I'm flat. I'm trying. I'll get to shore soon.
Hey, Ruben. Long time no see.
Hey, Ruben.
Hey, Ruben. What's up, dude?
So what? So the. Sorry, I'm gonna try this again. So I've been taking a little bit more interest in doing a little bit of scratch building, custom building stuff myself. Taking interest in doing some more, trying and wanting to do a little bit of wargaming myself. It's almost inevitable that I would look at making a little bit of custom terrain because, well, it's like $100 just for like a single tower, for like a single building or something, and it's like, well, you want to have a few pieces like that on the table to like make it look presentable, and it's like
you could do that with cardboard and a really good paint job.
And that's exactly what I'm starting to look at and think I want to go and improve. I want to improve my skill myself. Though I think in actuality, what I ought to do first before I jump into yet another project.
Yeah.
Get those painting off my table.
You've got a lot to paint. Yeah. Agreed.
And then there's the challenge of deciding, like, well, what faction am I going to paint my Space Marines? And then it was like, yeah, I'm going to do Blood Angels.
Yeah.
They have they have the tragic story. They're space vampires, and I love them.
See, I don't know enough about that lore to really. Yeah.
I know a little bit about the lore, but I'm not like super deep into it because I don't have any of the kits, and they're so expensive. I'm sorry, just like everyone's like when I was talking about like I build like Gundams and stuff like that, and everyone's like, oh, that's super expensive. Well, super expensive. I'm like, it is a little expensive here and there. Some kits are pretty expensive, yeah, but it's not that bad. And then I'm looking at all the Warhammer shit, and I'm like, holy fuck.
So like that was part of what kind of got me into the 3D printing, because I was taking more interested in that. By this is like a little Space Marine. I went and 3D printed myself, and
looks great.
Yeah, looks pretty good. And because I'm not planning to go do any Warhammer tournaments anyway. I'm just doing a lot of like kind of casual stuff. So here's sort of my little Space Marine next to the official one.
Yeah, my brother's printing in minis, and it's like awesome. My brother paints minis.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results.
Yeah.
It'll do it for me, and then I can go ahead and still scratch that itch. And plus, there are so many other little rule sets out there. Like, I've been really enjoying one-page rules as an alternative, which has also found me a little community of people that have been kind of doing this and printing stuff out, as I do kind of find myself looking at a few more Games Workshop stuff in the meantime. Oh, and Dave, by the way, get ready. There's a new Space Wolves box. I think about to be. I think you can pre-order it this week, so that should be out for the fall.
Yeah, I thought there was a new Space Wolf box coming out.
Of course, Jed would know about the Space Wolf box.
I was wondering. I was like, somebody told me the other day. They're like, dude, it's going out pretty soon.
So you're gonna buy it?
I wish.
Anyway, so
a bit too much for me.
This is give me a nice little outlet to be able to kind of scratch that itch. Oh, and I am getting into some Warhammer stuff. As this is taking me down a rabbit hole. It's got a little free rules set. The nice thing is, for a game called One Page Rules, the rules are all basically a sheet of paper front and back. I can build my army. I can build my army with the thing, and I can use any generic minis. I think the idea is our rules, your minis, so it's more miniatures agnostic. Hell, they will even provide little paper standees. So if you wanna have a faction of minis, you can do that.
Nice.
There's a bunch of, and then all this is available for free. Oh, you're like, I don't know about the factions. Stop me if any of these look familiar to all you Warhammer fans out there.
Yeah.
Alien Hives are totally not Tyranids. The Battle Brothers, well, I've never seen them before. What kind of
Battle Brothers? That's yeah.
What do we have here? Unfortunately, we don't have.
Wait, is this company gonna get sued or something?
Well, it's
kind of a little bit too dead on the nose.
Well, it's generic enough. And plus, they have a couple of original things to it, such as they have the Ratman clans, which the Warhammer 40K doesn't have Ratman. I mean, fantasy does, but this is fantasy.
Like Games Workshop can't sue anyone for like close semblance of certain properties that they hold trademark to, because they have a lot of like close semblance to lots of other space media, like sci-fi media. So it's like you know what I mean.
I didn't know if they were a kind of sue happy company or not. So.
Games
they're not like Pokemon, even though Pokemon Dragon Quest, Dragon Quest and Pokemon, there's a lot of similarities to that. So when they were trying to go after,
GW has been in the process of I think there's something like 200 individual creators that they're in the process of suing. GW is actually fairly protective of their IP.
Oh yeah.
But Vince, there are a couple of notable factions here that are somewhat Tau adjacent. The Eternal Dynasty, which is a faction I like. I have an army for. Which are, I mean, you look at them; they're space samurai.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also have the Tau Union, which I think are more like what you're kind of expecting.
Yeah.
They would be more akin to that.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, there's a few similarities, but there's enough differences here.
Yeah.
And ultimately, so I'm signed up for their I think their Patreon. So for $10 a month, I get access to the full Tools of the Army Builder application, and they give me a whole bunch of minis per month.
Nice. That's awesome.
Like, I've been very happy with it.
Pretty sweet.
And plus, they open your stuff up. So, for example, here's a bunch of the models that they were. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Let's pull up the Patreon. Just show it briefly.
Yeah, pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. Oh, that's some cool stuff.
Sorry. Let's see, they have a flash sale. Here's a bunch of their stuff. There. Oh, just so for $10, here's a few of the designs. We have some more classic fantasy dwarves, which I'll be getting in about a week or two.
Nice.
Look at that! Come on, you tell me you don't want to have some war dwarves with giant tubas.
I don't want to have some war tribe with tubas. Nope.
Oh, that's awesome, kind of.
Giant cannon. And for sci-fi, we have our orcs, which I paint mine with gray skin, not green. And we get a couple cool things in here. Like, look at our jetpacks. We have these little. We have little hover jet pieces. They have little turrets. They can fly. And look
That's
at that
great.
battle tank.
That looks like something coming out of Judge Dredd, though. Ugh.
And this would probably cost me about like 10, like probably $20 to paint, right?
Mhm.
Or I'm sorry, like probably $20 to print out myself,
Mm-hmm.
or 10, $15. Whereas if this were a GW kit, this would be easily be like $100. This would probably be about $100 kit.
Yep. Easily.
And look, you can even add little orcs to hang on the sides.
Yeah.
That looks like
If it was
mix
a Bandai kit, it would be 50,
Yeah.
and the
It
tracks wouldn't be able to move.
Yeah. It does look like a cross between Judge Dredd and Mad Max a little bit.
But I mean, it's helped me kind of scratch the itch of wanting to check out more Warhammer stuff, while not necessarily paying the Warhammer price.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if I get around to actually sitting down and playing at a table with friends at someone's house in like their garage, what does it matter if I'm using officially licensed models or not?
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
you're just doing it for the fun.
It's the same approach I've been kind of taking with, say, Magic. Like, if I'm going to sit down and play that, I'm going to play at the table with a kitchen table with some friends. I'm not paying the Hasbro price on the secondary market for cards when they have no problem selling me proxies.
Yeah. We should create our own game.
We should.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
let's see. And in fact, I mean, the nice thing is there's so many like model makers out there. You don't have to like take that step of doing it, but you can make like a rules agnostic system. Also, with all the advent rise of 3D printing, like in no time here, we're gonna see people going crazy trying to 3D print every Gundam at scale for that upcoming war game.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's expensive,
Oh.
dude. Oh.
Yeah.
I am going to buy a bunch, but I'm also going to scratch build my own, and I'm just gonna have a fleet of Musai. Let's just say if they don't build the Big Zam, I am going to 3D print 100 Big Zams, and you will have to beat my army of Big Zams because it is the best mobile suit ever.
Well, there's gonna be a couple models.
I don't
that
know. I
there's gonna be a
watched
couple
Geek
models
Flux.
that. Shit, I still got to catch up on that.
All right. No more spoilers.
But I know
Unless there's a hero model with unless there's a hero model with plot armor, then my Big Zams are dead. But
I do know like two things about it. Shara shows up, the Gundam shows up.
yes. I will not spoil anything else for you, but you already got spoiled that much, and honestly, Shard does show up, but he's who we all thought he was. He was the guy with the blonde guy with the freaking hair.
I thought you weren't going to say anything more. Then you said more.
Oh wow!
you know damn well that's when I say I'm not going to say anything else, I am going to spill all the beans. That's always been my cue. Come on now.
It's no surprise. Look, Char is one of those cash cow characters.
Yeah.
He's going to have to show up. And it's kind of the same, frankly, with what you're looking at with Warhammer, where they have all these big name characters that they've been slowly introducing back into the fiction there. But what I was going to say was, with the Gundam Assemble, if we don't have all the variants for like the Strike Gundam, people are going to kit bash those and 3D print them. Someone's going to want the launch, want the sword one, someone's going to want the ale, and then of course people are going to want the combo.
I wonder if someone has 3D modeled the Tequila Gundam. I swear someone has to.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
have
waiting
faith.
for that.
I have faith in the internet that some like good modeler can. Because I just finally got into doing Blender, so I am
okay.
Yeah, I'm slowly learning how to, cause like in physical media, I'm pretty good at uh, what do you call it? Sculpting. I just don't know how to do it on the digital platform. I just have to learn in
Yeah.
that
There
media.
was
But
a video I had saved in my watch later list I was wanting to get to for like someone was like
Mhm.
spent a week of designing, a week of learning to design in it. But I think at this point we are going to have a little bit of a departure here as Jed is going to have to leave us.
Yeah,
oh
I
no.
go because I gotta go spend some time with Kay before she leaves on her trip. So
Okay.
we're gonna go
All
watch a
right.
movie or something. So
Well,
Yep.
thank you, buddy,
see
for
you guys
showing up.
every. Oh, bro, always. You're my brother. So
Yeah,
and so
it has
so
been an absolute delight. Thank you for showing up and helping make this day go by that
oh, look,
easier.
dude, I'm always when I can ever make it over here, dude. And snacks and Punk brothers too.
Yep. Yep.
Thanks for seeing you
Mhm.
I'll
guys, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to get some work on your puppet at some point in this month or
Yeah.
next month.
Uh,
But
Oh
we'll
man.
shop some helpful
yeah,
tips for that too later.
yeah. I don't have the money for one yet, so when I get the money, I'll let you know. So
That's
It's
okay.
it's a to be commissioned.
yeah, it's a to be commission. So I
It's all
want
good.
to, yeah. So I don't want you to do it and go, oh, I was like, oh shit, I don't have the money yet. So yeah, I got to get the money so first. But yeah,
That's okay. That's okay. Everyone's hurting. I know.
yeah, and yeah, I gotta say, spend some time with Kay. She's leaving for a trip for a week, so you'll see me on
Oh,
YouTube a lot. So
hey,
yeah.
good content bench. The heck.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do some stuff on the Archivist, and I'm gonna go do stuff for my channel. Go do some stuff for culture, snow.
Cool.
You
Cool.
guys. So yeah.
Can't
So
wait to see you all
Appreciate it a
around,
little
buddy.
bit.
okay, I'll see you guys. Was it Friday? I'll see you guys. Well, either Friday or
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah. So
Friday,
all right.
Saturday, one of those
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Later,
I
Jed.
do.
Bye, later, man.
Darn, I was trying to like load a video in here, and unfortunately, like it's kind of freezing up on me. But we can press on all the same.
Yeah.
Onward.
Come on, this is being.
Onward.
Oh wait, there it goes.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Let me go back here. So Vince asked, "Have I ever played Blood Bowl?" I've been looking at it. I've been wanting to check it out. But the one issue I have is like there's kind of that joke of like it takes like 3 to 4 hours to play a game. But I do have some friends and I do have some family that are kind of interested in doing just that.
Yeah. Hmm. Maybe
Again,
I'll fire up again.
it's sort of that problem of like too much stuff, too little time.
That's true. Yeah, I've got a lot of games. I'm just like in my backlog. I used to be a super big gamer. Now I'm not so much of a big gamer, but oh well.
It's kind of to a point where I feel I almost have to like dedicate a day. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Wednesday's gonna be a video game day, where I can just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or like, hey, I gotta get in a movie for doing the talk hard. Like I was kind of talking about earlier, for tomorrow night I have to sit down and talk and watch. I gotta go finish up King Kong, the 2003 movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it was just because I got the extended edition, but it's like it's that version, but it's like 3.5 hours long, and feels almost unnecessarily long. Like, oh dear God, what have I done to myself?
Yeah.
Like, it's the point where I'm a little sick of giant bugs. And like that shouldn't be. I shouldn't be sick of giant bugs.
Hmm.
Well,
No,
you
I'm not used
gotta
to people
find a
saying that
new
out
cool
loud.
thing. Yeah. Oh,
But it is what it is.
did I froze? I probably froze.
Let me see this. Imagine becoming like the commoner does 10 plus hour gaming streams.
Mm-hmm.
I might just
Yeah.
have to go that route and just give me an excuse to play games more.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I need to do more content for the channel, and I think that is a reality for myself.
Yeah, that's a reality for me too. Punkwaddle's been good. He's been eating his vegetables. If you're, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Which is great. Which I need to do more of, but I just need to switch up some priorities a little bit, and then work for the job that you want, as Snowdub says. I'm like, well, yeah, but my bills are next week.
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to sources of income and is how this all works, I wouldn't mind making money.
If you don't
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't
giant
either,
bugs,
but
don't go to Clendathu.
yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to know
Maybe
more?
I should start a little game so we can all play. Freaking a Cotton Connection kind of game, or a Mech and Robots game for puppets and mechanized robots.
I mean, the
That'd
thing
be
is, there are a number of systems that would be worth your time for that, because there's a couple games I do rather enjoy, such as Stars Without Number, which, as T-shirt has mentioned incessantly, and the other one that I'm kind
What
of
is
really
it? Stars
enjoying right
Without
now,
Number?
yes, which the rules for it are free.
Okay.
Although the deluxe version, it has a little bit of extra stuff, but it is a really solid system. I could drop you a link to it. I'll get you hooked up for it later. The other one,
Okay.
the other one,
Yeah. Send it in the group chat. Yeah.
yep. The other one that I recommend that I enjoy is kind of my current obsession, which is a game called Fabula Ultima, a very
Okay.
JRPG inspired game.
Ooh, I like that.
I've mentioned it incessantly on a number of streams. There's, in fact, every couple Sundays or so, I do happen to.
What kind of genre is it? Is it space fantasy? Is it sword and sorcery fantasy? Is it
So, Fabula Ultima, it was really ultimately intended to emulate a lot of JRPGs. So we are talking, Shin Megami Tensei. We're talking Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy. But with it, you can do, sci-fi the high tech fantasy, as well as high fantasy. You can kind of go both ways with it, so you can have your mecha fun.
Oh, so you can kind of put it in your tailored world, per se?
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
And I'll just kind of pull up the book here real quick just to show a little bit of it off. But this is a game that I have been streaming on the channel a little bit on Sundays, so you can check out some of the back streams for that if you want to see a little more for yourself.
Okay.
If you want to see it in action. That said, look at this cover. This feels like it is an art like a PS1 era RPG.
Yeah, it does look like the box art looks good.
A couple of neat things about it: you only have 4 stats: your dexterity, your brawn, or your dexterity, your might, your, I think, reaction, or your intelligence essentially intelligence and willpower. And the idea is that no matter what, you're always rolling 2 dice based on which would be a combination of those stats. So you might say you might have your might and your willpower. Like you're trying to hold, you're trying to push on a door to hold it shut. So that might be what you're rolling based on. Let's see. So he says here, Fabula Ultima is partially based on the tabletop RPG Ryutama, which is a Japanese role-playing game.
Yep.
Let's see, countless other RPGs for inspiration are things like 13th Age, Blades in the Dark, D&D 4th Edition, Kamigakari, Tenma Bancho Zero. And that's the role playing game side of it. He stuff like my whole generation fell in love with Tifa. Whenever I finished a JRPG, I felt an emptiness inside. I wanted the plot to continue. I wanted the protagonists that I loved and villains that I hated to stay with me every single time. And so this was a love letter kind of built out of that. Okay, Vince, I will make a note of that. I will put that together next. Do we? I mean, look at this. Look, it's got some really beautiful art to it.
Oh yeah, he's on parapets or a ship or something.
He's on a boat. He's on a boat. See, did
He's
I
on an
have?
airship.
Sorry, let me. I know I'm just kind of jumping around here real quick, but I was trying to hopefully find that there's a list of video games that were drawn for inspiration. Anyway, sorry, I am getting sidetracked. But it is fully intended to be able to play a whole slew of different genres with. And if we jump down to these characters, I'll just show you a little snippet of what it's. Well, a couple little things here. Your equipment is fairly basic, and this looks like this would be like your inventory. Like you should practically have a little mouse cursor going down and highlighting the piece of equipment that you're gonna equip.
Cool.
The game starts, and you would typically have a series of combination of classes available to you. And again, feels like this should be the little character profile for a game. Like, oh, this would be the little piece of art to tie into a character in your instruction manual.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah. Yep, it looks, or it might be like a side art screen that you'll see in like the menu of a PS1 like JRPG. Yeah.
Or it would be one of those pieces of art that sort of pop up as part of the loading screen to show off characters.
That too. Yeah.
Everything you need to know to make the character. This is your class. You can level up to level 10, in which case you are buying into these skills. Some, like this arcane circle, can be taken a number of times, but fundamentally you will only get to take 10 levels in a class. So you're not going to be able to get everything here. Characters go up to level 50. So you will.
So 50 is the level cap.
Yep. 50 is the level cap. You're going to long term take multiple classes because the idea is you're sort of blending these together to make a character with it.
Okay.
And starting at level 5, you are expected to at least take at least a minimum of 2 classes. So you could have this arcanist, and you could theme in a elementalist. So you'd be really into magic.
Okay, cool. Is there like races, or does everyone have to be like human?
Races. All right, so there really isn't much anything in the way of races for the game. So everything where that's not made to be all that important.
Nice.
So,
nice.
So easily enough, we could have Punkwaddle be, a race of like, hyper intelligent penguins.
Yeah. He's like technically he would be Beast King, but he'd be like a penguin version of a Beast King. Yeah. And then obviously Charlie B would just be a Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
and Gator. Yeah, Gator is a goblin, so that's just who he is.
I mean, you could. Are druids in here? You could totally be a druid and turn into Charlie B.
So, by and large, because of the way the class system works with this, you're essentially combining these classes together to make what you're sort of envisioning. You're not meant to be that one thing. Though, if you were looking for something along those lines, they make some suggestions for builds. So you said druid. Let's see if they happen to make a mention of druid. Not necessarily, but let's say
Shapeshifter speaks to
It'd be-
animals, nature,
Yeah,
magic.
it'd be like an earth specialist. Yeah, like herbalist and healer.
Just wanted to check that last page. Nope. So we'll say an alchemist. Okay, just kind of like a general idea. You're like, oh, you want to be a guy who tinkers and makes stuff.
Mhm.
They'd recommend like the tinker, like a couple levels of the tinkerer class and a couple levels of this wayfarer class. You go around, you travel, and you collect, rare materials, and that's effectively what they're suggesting for your class. That said, because you were asking about more of the sci-fi stuff, they do have a supplement for that, the techno fantasy,
Ooh.
which includes a pilot class. So if we go down to the new stuff, you want to be like the magical gun girl, and here's its recommendations: elementalist and the pilot. Here's a bunch more stuff. But let's just show you a little touch of that. Esper, so you'd be kind of like a Kira.
Nice. Should definitely send me that so I could read that and I could workshop a kind of a campaign that we all can play. That would be pretty fun. I don't know. What do you think, Punkwaddle? Would you be interested?
I would be interested. Finding the time would be the hardest part, maybe, but
it really is. I have like a dedicated night on Thursday nights where I do run.
Oh, I can do Thursdays.
Well, the problem I have right now is there's already like 7 players in that game.
Okay, never mind.
I'm a little. I would more than love to have you, but unfortunately, I am kind of at my limit for that. And it's also I don't want to put too many people in the game and have people just sitting around for like an hour waiting to do something when we only have a little bit of a finite amount of time to the schedule.
Yeah, smaller groups are better groups. Unfortunately, it's how it goes sometimes.
But look, pilot. Also, some other names you could kind of call it if you're like kind of come up with an idea. Mecha pilot.
Ooh.
Yeah. What about a magical mecha pilot so you could be like the evil overlord and learn the way of the Flash?
Yeah. Well, the good news, Ironcaster, is by the time I have written down the campaign and all that stuff, you'll probably be done your Thursday freaking jam. Depending on how fast you guys play.
You're probably not wrong. Honestly, we're just sort of playing it until just. I don't have a set time frame for when it's going to run for because we're just sort of running for what feels good. Like part of it had been built with the players kind of helping input. Like it's a little bit of a Monster Hunter world where players are trying to go collect magic crystals that kaiju in this world, kaiju and big monsters really love because it's sort of like super condensed mana.
Okay.
And the technology in this world does use those as well for like a battery. So there's a little touch of like a Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII meets Monster Hunter. That was the idea we had. So as you see, we can like compression tech. You can have a little personal vehicle, so you can have your robot that as you level up, you can give it new little gadgets, new weapons. And then you could still at the same time in the same party have someone who's full on like, Konosuba Megumin. Or Ainz.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's sort of the fun thing is like there's just almost too much time and too little time and too many hobbies and too many interests. So you have to kind of pick and choose those battles. This is just the current little the current hill that I'm fighting on for my role playing.
Yeah, I just want to find some people who wants to play and who can pup it up. So that'd be super awesome.
Oh yeah, that would be a lot of fun, and it really wouldn't be too hard because again, I for my own setup, not
you just need a free hand. and microphone and a camera set up on the puppet and just a little spot where you could roll your dice and probably could make a little thing on your lap and just roll the dice there. Boom. Yeah.
It theoretically shouldn't be too hard. We would have to do a little bit of a test run with it at least.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a future that's a future stream at some point in time. Maybe in the fall, maybe.
Yeah. Gotta figure a few things out.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a guy who I do follow on YouTube.
Watch us do it, and freaking T-shirt gets super butthurt.
Oh yeah,
because it's like, I've been wanting to do this for a while. T-shirt, you don't have a real puppet.
So, I do have. There is one guy on YouTube who I've been following, Agranac Studios, who's
okay.
Oh yeah, he talks about what? He's the one who talks about Magic the Gathering, or this is a different one. This is a different guy. Oh, did I freeze?
Did you freeze? I think Ironcaster froze.
Oh, Ironcaster froze.
Well, that's
okay. Awkward. It is awkward. I thought I froze for a second. I was like, oh, did it interrupt?
So this is Agranac. This is no longer Agranac.
It's no longer Agranac, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Maybe he runs campaigns and they react to them with puppets. Maybe I don't know. I don't know this guy.
I don't know much about him either, and well, it's going to be harder to see it now that he's disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I always thought it'd be fun to do something like that, but then you just need a good group of people because it's the interactive part of having a good tabletop group. It makes it fun and worthwhile because you're gaming, you're snacking, you're just having fun. Like, but I think that's why. I didn't get into comic books because there wasn't enough action. Like, I can turn the pages. And I know there's some really amazing panels, and the older I've gotten, there's some I appreciate, but still, like, I want an interactive media, or like, maybe it's not ADD or need Ritalin, but I just like the pacing of something like cartoons or video games or this sort of thing. Even reading a well-written book, kind of, because there's so many words per page and your mind is constantly processing, so you have that your imagination is always at work. Now with the comic book, it's like it's beautiful art, but it doesn't always come to life to me the same way. But like, and maybe that's why I like the hands-on building of the Gundam and some of the video games you play. And like, like, okay,
like Zenless Zone Zenny.
Yeah, I mean that.
I was gonna fire up that game, but I was.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. Like, I'm trying to justify my PS5.
Oh no!
I bought it to play Gundam games, but and as fun as they are, they're just not as. It's just a character that shoots and stuff. Like, I want to do something that makes me feel like I'm inside of a Gundam. It's another gotcha game, but it's supposed to show up soon.
Hey, so apparently my internet has died. Oh, wait, there we go.
Well, I can see you back. Hey, he's gone again.
He's not gone.
Oh.
He's gone.
Yeah. Well,
so like,
I was about to say is the tabletop games. They're always good at I always run a really good campaign whenever I have time to freaking find a group of people to run it, because it's how fast you can play with the improvisational skills that you have. You know what I mean? And if the GM is good,
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
kicked on my.
Okay. This is getting weird. Sorry about that. I'm like busily trying to like grab my phone and like get this
Yeah, it kicked
stream
on my
on there.
camera for 1 second. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was weird.
But this is a sign that I think it's time to end, my friends. So apologies
Yeah,
for
I
that.
believe so.
Did you see what DJ Ronnie wrote in the chat? It's definitely time to get out of here.
I want to see a table bottom game.
A table bottom game instead of a tabletop game. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Yeah, send Ronnie to Detroit. I think it's his birthday tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Well, he can have fun in Detroit. I'm sure there's a number of lovely bars down there he can enjoy.
Well, we're doing a nip and
of the
nag.
gay variety.
He wanted to do a nip and nag on his birthday. I was just like, yeah, dude, you're invited. You have the link.
Yeah. Do it.
But
that'd be fun.
But with that, I think we're gonna have to call things to a close before my internet craps out any further.
Yeah.
Either way,
I would say send me the link for that stuff, but your internet's dead, so you can't really do that right now.
No, I think I'm back on the desktop now, so I can get the stuff sent out to you.
Oh yeah, freaking hook it up, and then I'll get cracking on many of the things I'm doing. The more distractions I have, the more chances I am to actually do the shit I'm supposed to do, which is weird to say. But that's how it works. I don't know why.
Vince, thank you down there, by the way, for dropping those links. As always, I appreciate everything you've been doing, buddy.
Yeah.
And on our way out, guys, do you have anything you want to promote? I know you had the Nip and Nag tomorrow, Stacks.
Yeah, Nip and Nag tomorrow. I believe is it Ronnie's birthday? I'm not. I think it is. I think he said it was this Tuesday, and we'll be working and scratch building some stuff for the Zoc lobster.
Oh, it's a monster mash with the Zoc lobster.
Zoc lobster. Yeah, I am making a lobster version of the cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Return the lobster, Bucko.
Yeah. He's. Yep. So we've got a little bit of a Wing Gundam and Universal Century Gundam kind of clashing together. A little aqua battle.
There you go.
Sweet.
But
yeah.
Punkwaddle, you got your ponderage coming up as always.
Yeah, I'm gonna be positive tomorrow. I'm gonna put out the PSA. I didn't do a breaking the ice because so good news. So I been working on the washing machine, so we didn't have to buy a new one. Talk about a hobby.
Oh, did you end up fixing it?
So yeah, so I had to replace the coupler. It's a direct drive. It's like a 20-year-old Whirlpool back when they were good. And so when we put it back together, everything was off balance and stuff. And so we tried a really small load and it didn't spin. But today with a full load, it did spin. So I do have a clutch that I ordered as well, just in case it's slipping. But it looks like maybe, even if it is the clutch and I need to replace, I know how to take apart the washing machine, and for $20 or less, I can keep it going for maybe another 10 years. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, $20 for 10 years, opposed to like
hopefully the motor
$600 for a new one.
Yeah, for real.
Well, guys, on the way out, I think we're gonna take one moment to appreciate a little bit of one of the greatest actors of this or any generation.
Oh. Okay.
But also,
rage.
I'm still just Nicolas Cage.
I'm still just.
But unfortunately, we're not all him. But you can certainly try. But guys, until next time, be good to yourselves. Take care, and remember the week's just starting. So brace yourselves for everything out there. And as always, rock and roll out.
Yeah.